Inflation-linked mid-contract price hikes on mobile and broadband have ended. I'm Martin Lewis of MoneySavingExpert.com, and I want to talk you through what this means for your mobile and broadband. I know this is something many of you have got in touch with me about over the last few years, with your teeth gnashing at the injustice of it. Because what we were seeing each April is, even if you've locked into a contract, even if you've got a fixed price, these firms were putting your prices up by above inflation, typically 3 or 4% above inflation, which meant a couple of years ago, some people were seeing 17% mid-contract price hikes. Last year, it was about 8 or 9% mid-contract price hikes. Well, that has now changed. The regulator, Ofcom, has changed the rules. What it says now is if you're going to put prices up, you have a choice of 2 ways of doing it. The first is the most common. Firms must include in pounds and pence the amount that your price will rise during the contract. So what we're seeing now, for example, Virgin Media had a deal the other day on broadband, around £25 a month, and then it says, in April, you will pay £3.50 a month more, and the following April, because it was a contract that lasted over 2 Aprils, you'll pay another £3.50 a month more. So £25 will go to £28.50, £28.50 will go to £32 a month by the time that your contract finishes. And that's the new way that they're going to communicate, and they're allowed to do it. Now, my problem with this is, while I think this is good for transparency and at least you'll understand what you're paying, I wanted to see them ban any mid-contract price rises that are above inflation, but that isn't happening. And in fact, for some people, the percentage rise will be far greater than it was in inflation. Think about it. If you're increasing everybody's contract, no matter what they're paying, by £3.50, someone who's paying £20 a month, well, they're seeing a massive rise, 16, 17%. Someone who's paying £40 a month, they're seeing a rise of 8 or 9%. So we're going to see some shifting of the pricing mechanisms that go on here. And what it also allows firms to do, this new model that Ofcom has come up with, is it allows firms to price low early on for a low headline price, but then bump up bigger price hikes year by year. So you could start, let's make this extreme. No one's doing this at the moment. You could start on £20, but then say a few months' time in April, it's going up to £30, and the year after, it's going up to £40. That could legitimately work within the rules. I said there were 2 types. What's the second one? Well, if a firm chooses not to include the price hikes in pounds and pence when you sign up, then if it does increase the price, you are free to leave within 30 days. And this is the approach that Sky says it's taking. It's not publicising price hikes. It will decide in April, and when it puts the price up, if people want to leave, they'll have 30 days in which they can leave penalty-free. They can leave the contract even in the middle of the contract. So it's going to be one of those 2 systems. Most are going to go with the price and pence rise. Some are going to go with, we won't bother telling you now, but we're going to put it up a little bit later on. Now, it's important to note, this only applies for new contracts. So if you are already in a mobile phone contract, because this has only just come in, well, you can still have above inflation price hikes this year or next year. But once your contract comes to an end, even if you just roll on and continue, that'll count as a new contract, so they won't be able to do it. So that's what you need to know about mid-contract price hikes. While I'm on, I should tell you that 14 million people are out of contract on their mobile phones. Text info to 85075, and that'll tell you whether you're out of contract in most cases, not in every case. It can't work in every system. And then go onto our cheap mobile finder to find your cheapest SIM and just get it a lot cheaper. You could be paying £5 a month and get 50 gig of data, unlimited minutes, unlimited text. And we also have a comparison, and our comparison sites, we've updated them so they include the price hikes on all of these products. We have our cheap broadband comparison too, all on MoneySavingExpert.com. Go and make sure you're not being ripped off on your broadband and mobile.